Morning, Rachie. Cool. So yeah, for today you need a strap or a belt or something just to help do a bit of shoulder release. So go and grab whatever you need. If you have a couple of blocks or books or something to take the weight in your hands for certain things, then grab a couple of books or blocks or whatever you have. And we'll start seated. So just coming to your mat. That's right. So starting in Astavakrasana, just across legs, bring the tip of the index finger to the tip of the thumb and have the other 3 fingers stretching out wide. Okay, rest the back of the hands onto the knees. So the arms feel fairly active and the energy is running right through to the fingertips, so hands are active. Drop the shoulders down the back, but lift tall through the crown of the head. Closing the eyes, start to build in that ujjayi sound to the breath. So we'll build into that slowly. So we're going to take a deep full breath in through the nose. And as you exhale, imagine you're fogging up your sunglasses as though you're going to clean them. Inhale again through the nose. Take that same thing again, fog up your glasses. Inhale through the nose. So try to create that same sound in the throat, but with the lips closed. So it feels like you're breathing a bit like Darth Vader in your throat. Then try and keep that feeling as you inhale as well if you can. If it feels too tricky with the inhale, just keep it for the exhale. That's the ujjayi sound to your breath. The soft palate at the back of the throat is lifted. So becoming aware of the bandhas, Mula Bandha, the deeper roots of the body, that pelvic floor lift, which includes front passage and back passage, lifting in as one piece. That's your whole pelvic floor. Let's try to tune in with that, particularly as you exhale. Naturally, that will have engagements. The next bandha, bandha meaning lock. So bandha is the Uddiyana bandha, which is belly button drawing back to the spine. So the Mula Bandha at the base and Uddiyana draw in together to create a lift and a lock of strength in that lower part of the core. See if you can just tune in with that. The third lock of 3 is Jalandhara, which is in the throat. So just drawing the chin towards the throat slightly, lengthening the back of the neck. It comes in with that ujjayi sound. So working all 3 together. So you can either stay with this focus. If you can, we're going to just do 2 rounds of 20 or 30 pulses of Kapalabhati. The stomach exhale to pull the stomach in. So it's a little contraction of the abdominals. Just focus on the exhale. The inhalations will sort themselves out. So don't feel like you have to breathe in and out and in and out or start panting. So just focus on short, sharp exhales through the nose with a contraction through the belly. So if it's new to you, you can just watch and listen. So we're going to start with the full breath in. And take a full breath out. Take another breath in to prepare. And then you begin. Fully empty the breath. Fully inhale. And just let the breath release. We'll do 1 more round if that feels okay with you, your breath. Take another breath in. And exhale to begin. Keep it going. This is just strengthening into that deeper, more intrinsic sense of the core, switching on the diaphragm, which is going to be really helpful for just core engagement and warming up the core as we move through the practice. Take another 5. And then fully empty the breath. Fully inhale. And just let the breath soften. Open the eyes if they're still closed and come over into all 4s. So we just work into the wrists and the hands a little bit. So stretch the fingers open into the ground. Just scrunch the fingers up slightly so the knuckles of your fingers lift off the ground. So this is going to be really helpful for transitioning weight through arm balances. So just rocking the weight forwards and backwards a couple of times in the hands. Maybe taking the weight side to side or round in circles. And then turn the fingers out to the sides. Taking the weight again, side to side or round in circles, just get the weight through the hands. Good. Maybe turn the fingers back around the other way a bit further, so towards the knees. Little transfers of weight, or lean back towards your feet, feel the stretch through the wrists. And then spin the hands back round and interface each other. Again, little weight side to side. And then bring the hands back to kind of normal stance. Flip the back of your right hand to the floor. So without taking too much weight into it, just make sure the wrist is underneath the shoulder. Still spreading the fingers out so the fingernails stay on the floor. Straighten your elbow and try and rotate the fold line of the elbow to face forwards. And then bend the elbow out to the side and dip into it. Straighten, try and rotate. Each person has a lot of different sort of mobility through that rotation. So just take it as far as your wrist obviously wants to go. It does tend to change quite a lot over the course of a couple of weeks of doing it, so persist. So next time it's straight, keep as much rotation as you can there, and then scrunch up your hand. This is really good for building that forearm strength, which is again going to support the wrist, support the shoulder, and your arm balances. So take a few little scrunches and opens. The weirdest looking fist that you ever did. And then relax it, flip the palm back to the floor, switch sides. So the back of the left hand comes to the ground. Stretch the fingernails to the floor. Straighten and rotate the forearm, and then bend the elbow out to the side. Straighten and rotate, and bend. Keep it going. So next time the forearm is straight, try to keep the rotation, scrunching up your hands, and then opening and keep it going, scrunch and open. Work it into that forearm. And then release, bring both hands back to the floor. So you're going to keep the fingers flat this time, so there's no scrunch with the finger knuckles. At the same time, lift up your palms, so you feel the stretch through the hands. And then slowly bring the palms down. So they move at the same time, palms up and palms down. Now, if you notice that it's a bit difficult to lift both palms at the same time, and one is wanting to move first and then the other, try to start consciously with the weaker one first and then the stronger one, just so you kind of retrain the movement pattern. So if this is feeling okay, you want to up level a little bit, shift the shoulders forward, so shoulders are above the fingertips, and then try to lift the palms and place them down. If you want to up level a little bit from there, lift the palms, tuck the toes, lift the knees, bring the palms down and bring the knees down. Do a couple more rounds, palms up, knees up, palms down, knees down. So either keep whatever level you're doing, keep it going. So up level to the last one. There you come into plank position. No broken fingers, please. Take a little bend into the elbows and spring onto the fingertips. And both palms lift at the same time and lower at the same time. Wow. Again, that's one that does get possible. For a few weeks, my lifting onto the palms was just and nothing happening. So come back into a child's pose, just fold back, give your back a little wriggle. And we're going to get into a bit of chest opening, shoulder opening, or back bending today. So find a puppy pose to start with. So just slide yourself forwards, forehead resting to the ground, get the thighs to be in a straight line from the hips to the knees. So the body can drop down. Sense the tailbone lifting up. Really big breaths wide into the ribs. Try to keep that ujjayi breath coming in. And again, just bring the awareness of Mula Bandha, that deeper pelvic floor, Uddiyana Bandha, navel to spine. And on an exhale, press through the hands, come back into all fours again. Take the left arm up to the ceiling with a big breath in. Just going to thread it through underneath the right armpits. Bring the shoulder and the temple to the ground. Just breathing into a twist. So the option to just stay where you are. Just find a kind of easy way in. To extend a little bit deeper, maybe take the right leg back behind you. Toes can stay on the floor. You just lengthen the knee up. If you're feeling balanced from there, the key here is to keep the pelvis steady. Maybe float the foot up. Keeping those bandhas working will help keep you balanced. Wherever you are, take a breath in. And as you exhale, reverse the way that you came, so you come back into all fours. Inhale, bring the right hand out to the side and up to the ceiling. And exhale, thread underneath, so shoulder and temple come to the ground. So again, you might want to stay where you are for now, or we can lengthen the left leg back and maybe lift the toes. Keep the pelvis steady. Use the bandhas. On your exhale, reverse the way that you came. Back into all fours. Tuck the toes, come into a downward facing dog. Take a couple of breaths to move your body however you want to move. Paddling the feet, stretch the legs, swing the hips side to side. Take a couple of deeper breaths. And try to bring that feeling of your puppy stretch into your downward dog. So really get the chest to come through the armpits. Bend the knees a little bit and the tailbone reaches high to the ceiling. From there, take more squat into the legs and then swing the hips over to the right side of the mat. Inhale, come through the center. And exhale, swing the hips over to the left side of the mat. Keep that squat through the legs. Inhale through the center. One more either side if it feels good for the body. Center. And left, and center. Roll forwards to a plank position. Take a big breath in. Exhale, half chaturanga, knees and chest come to the floor, elbows hug in. Slide forwards and up to a cobra. Roll the shoulders down your back, reach the toes away. Holding here in cobra, just for a couple of breaths. So remember, through the practice, when I guide you through chaturanga, you can either take half chaturanga, knees down first, or full. And you can mix it up a little bit if your body starts to get a bit tired. Take a breath in where you are. Exhale, roll the chest to the ground. Push through the hands back into all fours and back into a downward dog. Again, just last little moment to paddle the feet or swing the hips. And then begin to walk the feet towards the hands so that you come into a forward fold at the top of the mat. Feet hips distance, hang on to the elbows, take a sway side to side. Keep it softly moving. Let the arms dangle to the floor. Take a full breath in, and then use the exhale belly to find again, really using those bandhas to push you up to standing, bone by bone. Roll the shoulders down your back. Grab hold of your strap or your belt, whatever you have. And if you don't have one, don't worry, you can do this without the strap if you need to. Or if you have any shoulder injuries and stuff going on, we can do this without a strap. I mean, if you have shoulder injuries, maybe don't do rocket anyway, but okay. So keep the arms straight. We're going to lift the strap up above the head. And as you exhale, roll the strap around behind you. Inhale, lift the strap up above the head. And exhale, bring it in front. Keep it going. So try to keep the rest of the torso really steady so you're not using the back bending to help you kind of move the strap. You want to find the biting point where the arms can stay straight and there's a pull into the strap, but you're not having to kind of force or wriggle your way through it. It should feel like a smooth movement, but it should feel a little bit of a challenge. So maybe after a couple of rounds, you can just tighten in just an inch closer. It will make quite a big difference to the feeling of it. So see how you go. And when the strap is somewhere behind your head, it should probably feel like the peak of the stretch. So if you want to just hold into it and have a little bit of a wriggle, bit of a Superman dance in there, have a biggie, and then keep it flowing. Just take a couple more rounds. Recommend this one even if you're kind of sitting at a desk all day as well. It's a really nice chest opening after you've been seated for ages. Good, and then let the strap come down to the floor. Keep it handy, so somewhere at the top of the mat. We'll use it again later on. Bring yourself to the top of the mat with big toes touching. Spread the rest of the toes open and bring the hands to the heart center. Standing tall, crown of the head lifting. Find the breath again, that Ujjayi sound to the breath, that Darth Vader in the back of the throat. Become aware of the bandhas, Mula Bandha, Jalandhara, Uddiyana. Begin with Sun Salutation A. So we're going to inhale to lift the gaze, lift the thumbs. And exhale to forward fold. Halfway lift, inhale. Exhale, step or jump back to plank position. We'll pause here on the first one for an inhale. Exhale, half or full chaturanga. Inhale to lift the chest up. Exhale back to downward dog. 2 full breaths, up to you whether you're moving or holding stillness. Try to drop the shoulders into your back rather than hunching them around the ears. Bring the gaze to your hands, bend the knees. Step, walk, jump or shuffle your feet to the hands. Take a halfway lift as you inhale. Exhale, fold into the legs. Make sure big toes are touching. Inhale as you rise, bring the hands up above the head. Exhale, bring the hands back to the sides of the body, NamaSTE. Second round of 3. So we're going to inhale again, lift the hands up. Exhale to fold. Halfway lift, inhale. Exhale, folding in, step back to plank. Take a big breath in. Exhale, half or full chaturanga. Inhale, lifting up to cobra or upward facing dog. Exhale, back into downward facing dog. 2 full breaths. Inhale for 1. Exhale. 2. Exhale. Gaze to hands, bend the knees, step, walk or float the feet up. Halfway lift, inhale. Exhale, fold into the legs. Inhale as you rise, take the hands up above the head. Exhale, hands to the heart center and then to the sides of the body, NamaSTE. Third round, we'll pick up the pace a little bit. Inhale to lift. Exhale to fold. Halfway lift, inhale. Exhale, step or jump to plank. Holding inhale. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, lift the chest. Exhale, downward dog. 2 full breaths. Inhale. Exhale. 2. Exhale. Gaze to hands, bend the knees, step, walk or jump, feet up. Halfway lift, inhale. Exhale, fold into the legs. Inhale as you rise, bring the hands up above the head. Exhale, hands to hearts and to the sides of the body, NamaSTE. So we're coming to Sun B, and I'm just going to show you first, just in case this is a new transition for you. So basically we're going to take out the plank position. So after your forward fold, you take the halfway lift, which is basically acts as your preparation just to get the breath into the body. So it doesn't have to be the kind of dance move of this straight back. Palms to the floor will help better. So bend the knees as much as you need to get the hands down, and just use that halfway lift as a breath. From here, rather than plank, you come straight into chaturanga. So you breathe in and exhale, scoops back. So you just miss the plank position. You can still do that transition with half chaturanga. I'll just show you that quickly. So you take that halfway lift again with palms on the floor. Exhale, half chaturanga. So it's just on that one breath. You lower down. So there's just no stopping in plank. Hopefully that makes sense. I'll lead you through. Inhale, lift the hands. Exhale, forward fold. Halfway lift, inhale, the palms to floor, chest reaches forwards. On one exhale, take your chaturanga. Good. Inhale to cobra or up dog. Exhale back to downward dog. Lift the right leg up to the ceiling, take a breath in. As you exhale, step right foot through to between the hands, rotate the back foot to a diagonal, and inhale into warrior one. If the shoulders are feeling tight, open the hands a little bit wider. If we can, palms pressed together, lift the gaze to the thumbs. Keep the tailbone trying to slightly tuck and deepen the bend in that front knee. Take a full breath in. On one long exhale, take your chaturanga. Keep breathing out, keep breathing out, keep breathing out, keep breathing out. Inhale, then lift the chest. Exhale, back to downward dog. Inhale, lift the left leg high. Exhale, step it through to between the hands. Turn the back foot and inhale, lift the arms up, warrior one. Again, maybe hands open, maybe palms together if you can, lift the gaze. Tuck the tailbone, stick the hips forwards. Take a big breath in. And on one long exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, lift the chest. So you start to strengthen the breath as well. Exhale back into downward dog. Pausing for 2 full breaths. Shoulders dropping into back rather than hunching around the ears. Let the neck relax. Last breath. Gaze to hands, bend the knees, step walk or jump the feet up to the top of the mat. Big toes touching. Take a halfway lift as you inhale. Exhale, fold into the legs. Come into chair pose, deep bend in the knees, reach the hands up, palms together, lift the gaze. Exhale, standing, hands to heart and to the sides. Second round, we're going to do exactly the same, just kind of get some beat into the body. So starting with chair pose, inhale. Exhale to fold. Halfway lift is your preparation. Exhale through to your chaturanga, that one breath. Good. Inhale, lift the chest, cobra or up dog. Exhale, back into downward dog. Inhale, lift the right leg high. Exhale to step through. Turn the back foot. One breath in to lift the arms, warrior one. Long breath out, chaturanga. Keep the right foot floating if you can. Inhale, lift the chest, place the foot down. Exhale, back into downward dog. Left foot lifts up, take a breath in. Exhale, step through. Turn the back foot. Big breath in, lift the hands up. Long breath out through chaturanga with the left foot floating if you can. Inhale, lift the chest. Exhale, downward dog. Pausing, 2 full breaths. Inhale, 1. Exhale. Inhale, 2. Exhale. Gaze to hands, bend the knees, step walk or jump the feet up to the top of the mat. Halfway lift, inhale. Exhale, fold into the legs. Deep bend in the knees, coming back into chair pose. Exhale, come to standing, hands to the sides of the body. Third round, you're going to bring a variation in. So inhale, start with chair pose. Exhale, forward fold. Halfway lift is your preparation. Long exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, lift the chest. Exhale, downward dog. Lift the right leg up. From here, bend the knee, open the hips out to the side. Keep the underneath heel drawing down. If the body is already feeling warm enough, you can drop into wild thing if you want to, or just stay where you are for a couple more breaths. So if you're dropping to wild thing, the toes find the floor and the right hand lifts up. Slowly reverse the way you came, hands to the floor, lift the toes. Exhale, step through, coming back into warrior one, so rotate the back foot. Inhale, lift the hands. Interlace the fingers together behind your back, opening the chest, squeeze the shoulder blades. Holding here, feel the breath move into the chest space. Take a little sway side to side with the arms, get into those shoulders. Heel toe your front foot open a little bit wider, take another big breath in. As you exhale, come into humble warrior, body coming forwards and down, and lift the hands up towards the ceiling. Gaze finds the back big toe. Keep trying to squeeze shoulder blades, Relax through the back of the neck and deepen into the bend of the front knee. Power up the breath. On your next exhale, use the breath to push yourself all the way back up again. Lift the hands to the ceiling. Long exhale all the way through to your chaturanga. Keep breathing out all the way down. Inhale, then lift the chest. Exhale, back into downward dog. Inhale, lift the left leg up. Pause here, open the knee, or open the hip, sorry, so bend the knee. Again, you can either hold where you are or drop into a wild thing if you want to. So the left hand will come off the mat. Reverse the way you came if you took wild thing. Left toes lift up with a big breath in. Exhale, step through to between the hands. Turn the back foot. Inhale, lift the arms up. Exhale, sweep them round and interlace the fingers. Again, one finger differently. So it feels like the weird way to link them, to break habits. Open the chest, squeeze the shoulder blades. Holding here. Feel the opening around the chest space. If you want to move more into the back, maybe allow your thumbs to find the back thigh and then just slide the thumbs down the back a little so the chest lifts towards the ceiling. Bring the spine up a little bit straighter again. Open the front foot. Take a breath in where you are. Exhale, bow forwards and down. Humble warrior, arms lifting up and overhead. Gaze to the back big toe. Deepen into the breath. Really focusing on that middle bandha, the uddiyana, or belly button pulling back to the spine. Push through the front foot, lift yourself all the way back up again. Arms lift, big breath in to prepare. Long breath out through your chaturanga. Keep breathing out all the way down. Inhale, lift the chest up. Exhale, back into downward dog. Stay where you are, take a full breath in. Full breath out. Full breath in. Full breath out. Gaze to your hands, bend the knees. Step, walk or float the feet up. Halfway lift, inhale. Exhale, fold into the legs. Come back into chair pose, inhale. And we're going to hold chair pose. So bring the hands out just in front of the shoulders, interlace the fingers and press the palms out in front of you. So stretch through the hands. Keep the thumbs feeling fairly active as well. Take a big breath in, and as you exhale, sit lower into it, so the tailbone back. Take a big breath in, make sure the knees are pressing together, toes are pressing together, sink lower. Allow the head to hoop through, look through that hoop of your arms. So the spine is parallel with the floor. Reaching back through the tailbone, keep the arms pressing out. Holding, use those bandhas. Seems to be the focus of today. Feel the breath move. Take a big breath in. As you exhale, bring the hands to the floor. Come onto the tiptoes of the feet and take the knees open to rest into the upper arms. Scrunch up the fingers like we did in that little wrist warm-up. And if you want to, take the weight forward. So you find Bakasana. Maybe just one foot lifts and then you switch feet just to get used to taking weight in the hands. Or maybe you're floating. Take it a straight way if you know you have a float there. If you're floating, try to shift the weight forwards into the hands more and straighten the arms up a little bit higher. More into that crane position. Keep the big toes hugging in. From here, we come to chaturanga. So if you can, jump it back to your chaturanga. You're going to try that a couple of times. So if you know you nail it, then we're just going to do it a couple of times. If you're building in, then take a couple of practices. I will show you a lower level. So if you're from your crow position, take the toes to the floor. Step one leg back. Bend the elbows as you step back into the chaturanga. And then do it again with the other leg leading. If you're jumping back or you want to play with the jump, you can take a few little hops. So from the float, shoot the inner thighs towards each other. And down. Your crow position, you are already in your chaturanga with the body forwards here. So my upper body doesn't need to move. Jump it back from there. From there, lead through the vinyasa to lift the chest up. Take a breath in. Exhale back into downward dog. Just take a breath. On an inhale, lift the right leg up. Bend the knee again, open the hips. Drop it into a wild thing if you want to, or just stay where you are. If you're in wild thing, reverse where you came. Lift the right toes up high. Exhale, step through to between the hands, coming into warrior one again. Lift the arms up. So here, interlace the fingers, index fingers pointing up like you're a child's angels. And lift the hands high, and then use that clasp of the hands to pull back behind you. Now with back bends, you must pay attention to how your body feels. Back bend can just be a little opening of the chest. It doesn't have to be dramatic. Keep the tailbone with a sense of tucking, so we're not loading loads of weight into the lower spine. Try to open from the chest, maybe lift the gaze, and feel the shoulder blades squeezing together, armpits opening up towards the ceiling. And then push into the feet if you want to take it deeper. Slowly bring yourself all the way back up. Exhale brings you into warrior two. So just rotate the back foot round. So your front heel is in line with the arch of the back foot. Active through the hands. We bring in reverse warrior. So wrap the left hand around your lower back to find the crease of the hip. Right hand lifts up and reaches back. Keep the deep bend into that right knee. And if you want to, come onto the tiptoes of that right foot. So sink down a little bit deeper into it and work a bit of ankle strength. Reverse the way you came. So back through warrior two, heel drops down. From here we come to Trikonasana. So just close the back foot in a little bit closer. Straighten up the front leg, reach forwards, and then hinging down. Hand resting either to shin or reaching up to ceiling. Try to flatten the back as though you're leaning against a wall. So it might mean you need to tuck the tailbone a little or open that top shoulder back. Big circles with this top arm, coming down to the floor, up to the ceiling, and back round. Keep it going. Change the direction, big generous circles, loosening off that shoulder. So from here, we're going to come into Ardha Chandrasana, your half moon. You may want to block underneath your right hand. And take a bend into the right knee, hand finds the floor or a block, and then transition the weight forwards into the front foot. So you float the back leg up. Flex the floating foot, so this floating leg is really straight and active. Make it feel strong. So from here, you have options to just hold the balance and be freaking proud of that. Or maybe try to peel the fingers off the ground underneath you so you're not resting into anything. You can bring a bind as we're working into little back bends, so grabbing hold of the floating foot and using that to open the chest and the back a little bit further. Wherever you are, take another full breath. And reverse the way that you came. Take the floating foot to the ground. So you come through a pyramid pose, all toes facing the front, heel of the foot pressing down at the back. So you might need to bring the foot in closer to get the back heel grounded. You may want blocks under the hands again, or a little bend into that front knee. And rather your fingers would be down rather than floating here. Folding into that front shin. For those of you that are more mobile, maybe reaching back with the hands to grab hold of the back thigh or the back calf muscle. So you squeeze into that sort of paper clip. Take another full breath where you are. If you have the paper clip, release the hands. Bring the left hand to the outer side of the right foot. Again, hands on a block is going to feel a lot more easier for balance. Lift the right hand either to lower back, just to get the balance in. So you spin the shoulders open to the right, or lifting right hand to ceiling if you can. Think about your spine lengthening from the crown of the head through to the tailbone, like one rod going through the body. Breathing into the belly. Strong twist for the legs and the body. It's a hard one to balance, so if you're steady, Well done. Take a breath in. As you exhale, refold through to that pyramid pose and step the back leg away again to come back through your warrior two position of the legs. Lift the hands open. We come into extended side angle. So level one, you bring the hand to the outside, the right hand to the outside of the left foot. So the knee is almost in your armpit. And you lift the other arm up directly above the other. To build deeper, we bring in a bind. So take the left hand around the lower back. The right arm comes down to the inside of the leg and underneath to grab the hand behind you. If you have the bind, use the right hand to grab the left wrist and use that to pull the top shoulder further open. Be careful with any shoulder injuries going on there. If you want to take that to bird of paradise, we have about 3 more breaths wherever you are, so take a little whiz through if you want to. Bird of paradise, you step the back foot up and lift the bound leg. If you have the lift, start coming back down again. Unravel your bind if you have it. Lift the arms to the ceiling into high runner's lunge. Lift the back heel. Slowly, with control, place the back knee down to the floor. Tuck the tailbone and reach the hips forwards. Push down through the shoelace bit of your back foot. So you're really opening a stretch into the front of your left hip, the hip flexor. Hip flexors also come into play with back bending, legs in the chest. So just getting into that stretch there. Bring then your left elbow to the outer side of your right thigh. So you can kind of hook yourself in. Good. Palm to palm. Or keep the left hand as a fist, so the wrist is in a straight line, and the right hand wraps on top of it. Like a rock, paper, scissors kind of thing. Just gives the wrist a little bit of alignment. Tuck the toes, maybe lifting the back knee for more of a challenge. And ninjas, if you want another up level, take the weight forwards with this bind and try to float the back foot. So no higher than your bum as it lifts. Well, being lovely today. Really straighten out through that back leg. Wherever you are, if you have the foot floating, place it back down. Lift the hands up. So we're going to take a little handstand vinyasa. So this coordination here. So hands to the floor, lift the back foot up first, and this right foot is going to jump to the back of the mat, landing only on that right foot. Give it a go. Yes, and then lower the chest down. Inhale, lift the chest up, cobra or up dog. Exhale, back into downward facing dog. Bring the gaze to your hands. At the same time, lower both elbows to the floor. Push through the palms, lift both elbows off the floor. Yes, good. Both elbows down. Both elbows up. Last time to come down, holding there. Rock your nose forwards to look at the thumbs, and then back, pushing through the arms. Forwards to the thumbs, back through the arms. One more, forwards, and back. From here, maybe lifting one foot, take a couple of kicks to the supporting one. If you have Pincha in your practice, you can take Pincha straight away. Building in. We'll come back to this pose after the second side, so go easy. Push back up onto the palms, take a big breath in. And a full breath out. Lift the left leg high, take a big breath in. Bend the knee. If you want to drop into wild thing, take your wild thing, or holding where you are for a couple of breaths, feeling that hip flexor stretch. Reversing your wild thing if you're there. Lift the left toes up, take a big breath in, and as you exhale, step through to between the hands. Coming into warrior one, so hips and shoulders face front, your Charlie's Angels mudra. Lift the index fingers up, draw the arms back behind the ears, think tailbone tucking as we stay open through the front of this hip. Maybe bringing in that back bend as much as you want to take it. Think reaching the index fingers up and back, armpits facing the ceiling. Bring the spine back up straight. Take a breath in. Exhale brings you to warrior two. So just realigning the feet. So front heel in line with arch of back foot. The right back hand wraps around the lower back and spin the left hand back behind you. Maybe coming onto the tiptoes of the left foot. Take a big breath. Bring yourself back through warrior two, plant the heel. Shuffle the back foot in a little bit closer. Straighten up the front leg, take a big breath in. Exhale, reaching forwards and into Trikonasana. Both legs straight and strong, engaging the quads. Underneath hand resting to block or lightly to shin. Flatten your back out against the wall. So again, that might mean you need to tuck the tailbone and pull in those bandhas, or opening that top shoulder back. Circle the top arm, big circles. Change the direction. And then bringing yourself into Ardha Chandrasana, half moon. So the underneath hand is going to come forwards, grabbing the floor or a block, and float the back foot off the floor. Keep the hips open to the side. Option to stay where you are. It's a strong balance. Or bringing the back bending into it, so you bend the knee and the right hand grabs the foot, pressing the foot into the hand to open the shoulder, open the abs. So you can take the weight off your underneath hand. And slowly, wherever you are, reversing, coming into pyramid. So all the toes facing front like they're on train tracks, staying hip width apart. Back heel rooting to the floor. So then bring the back foot in close enough to get that connection. Little bend in the front knee if we need to get the hands to the ground. For those of you that are more mobile, bring in the paper clips so the hands reach back the back leg. So you can slide the arms down towards the calf muscle. Couple of deep breaths. And release the hands if you have the paper clip. We're bringing revolved Trikonasana. So the right hand comes to the outer side of the left foot, onto a block if that's more comfortable for balance. Bring the left hand to lower back to start with and try to turn the shoulders towards the left. The more you can push down through the underneath hand, the easier the shoulders are going to rotate. Maybe lift that left hand up to the ceiling, deep spiral. Think about the spine being that straight rock line again from crown of the head to tailbone. Abdominals pulling in, using the bandhas. Keep pressing down through back heel. On your exhale, reverse back down through to pyramid. Step the back leg away again, even back into your warrior two legs. So drop the back heel. Spin the arms open. And we're coming to extended side angle. So starting with the left hand to the outer side of the left foot onto block or the floor. So the knee is coming in towards the armpit. Lift the right hand directly up to the ceiling. Next stage, you bring in half bind. So the right hand comes around lower back and use that to lift the chest further open. Full bind, left arm comes to the inside of the thigh and wrap it underneath. So this side, the left hand will grab the right wrist. Use that to pull the top shoulder further round. Again, just go careful with shoulders. Take it into your bird of paradise if you wish to. The back foot steps up to the top and lift the bound leg. Or if you have bird of paradise, come back down. Unravel your binds, lift the hands up to the ceiling, lift the back heel. Slowly with control, bring that back knee to the floor. And we're just going to take a moment to stretch into this hip flexor. So release the toes at the back and push down through the shoelaces of that back foot. Tuck the tailbone, so really scooping in the bandhas and belly to spine, and shift the hips forwards with that. Keep pressing down through the back foot. On your exhale, the right elbow is going to come across to the left thigh, either palm to palm, or again, bringing in that wrist alignment. So the right hand is going to be a fist, so the wrist is straight, and wrap the left hand on top of it. Press them together so you deepen into the rotation. Option to lift the back knee. And if you want to bring that challenge of balance into it, take your back foot off the floor. Wow. Straighten out through that back leg. If you're floating, bring it back to the ground, lift the arms up, take a big breath in. Exhale, come through this hop, skip and a jump through your chaturanga. So start with the back foot lifting, and then you jump the left foot to the back of the mat. Awesome. Lift the chest up, take a breath in. Exhale, come back into your downward facing dog. 2 full breaths. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, 2. Exhale. Bring the knees to the floor. So we're going to come back into this pincha. So either taking exactly the same kind of sequence that we did earlier on the forearms lowering and lifting, shift the nose forwards back. Repeating things is still going to give great benefit to the speed of your strength. So some days if you want to take just the drills, take just the drills. Or you take a kick up, if you're kind of getting a good kick up with the legs, find a wall space. So as you kick up, one leg will feel easier to kick up than the other. Find the wall with one foot, bend the knee. Bring the other knee towards the body, and then pushing the chest through the arms. Do a bit of a back bend with chest opening is really strong in that one anyway. And then peel the way you came. Try it with the wall. Go careful. See if I can't see you, I can't see you. Or rest, if the shoulders need a rest.
Again? Pip, will you just do that again? Just so I
with the wall?
Please.
Yeah. So you take a kick up. Find the wall, so it's a stag position really. So the one foot comes down towards your bum. The other thigh comes towards the body. This is going to stop you rocking too far backwards. So this keeps you grounded. Push the chest, so rather than being here, which is loading loads of weight into your back, push the chest through to look at the back of the mat. Then you can take the back foot off the wall, so you find a little bit of squeezing balance points. And then you start to straighten the legs from there. But pincha is a lot of demand on like that position, staying chest open, which is why all the drills in dolphin is good to kind of get that pressing back opening. So I'll just give you a couple of seconds to play around with that or to breathe. If you want me to watch you, let me have a look if you want. Okay. Good. That's it. Thigh towards the ribcage as close as you can. Keep the chest pushing through. So keep the gaze at the back of the mat there. That's it. And then try to take the toes off the wall. Squeeze that heel in towards your bum that you've got on the wall there. Squeeze it in so the hamstring switches on. Yes, good. Good. Great. So that's your homework. I'd rather you practice forearm stand or handstand because your head is off the floor than practice headstand. If headstand isn't confident in your practice, then forget using that as homework. Nice and fun. So how are we doing on time? Okay, come to, let's get standing postures. Come to the legs out in front. So into Dandasana, we're going to keep the back strength coming in. So take the hands up to the ceiling, palms facing each other. Shrug the shoulders up to your ears and lift them up as high as you can, as though you're trying to grab hold of something of the ceiling. Flex the feet so the heels hover off the ground. The quads feel engaged. Holding here. Breathing. Each time you exhale, really pull belly button to the spine. It should feel like hard work for the whole of the body to stay here with a flat back. Drop the shoulders into your back, but keep a sense of lift through the rest of the body. Take a full breath in. As you exhale, lean forwards towards the feet, just as far as your back can go with it staying straight. It might just be a little nudge forwards before your back starts to round. Keep the point where your back is straight, so the thumbs are trying to reach back behind you. Take another full breath in. As you exhale, let the back round, so you come to the floor, hands to the mat, wherever they fall to is fine. If it feels uncomfortable for lower back to take folds, bend the knees a little bit just to take the pressure off. For those of you that are more mobile, bring the hands either to wrap around the little toe edge of the feet to pull into, but keep the shoulders away from the ears. There's no force or struggle from the shoulders. There's no destination to the pose other than to feel a stretch here. Try to really relax the neck and the jaw. Take another full breath. Slowly rolling back up through the spine. Bend the left knee in towards the body, right leg out in front of you. Take an inhale, lifting up, and exhale, refold again over just this right leg. Slowly bring yourself up. Lift the hands off the floor. See if you can take the feet off the ground and switch sides. Come through Navasana, straighten the left leg, take the right foot to bend. Then you can nudge it in a bit if you need to, and refold. Slowly rolling back up. Again, without using the hands, bring the feet up into Navasana with the knees bent. Reach the hands forwards for the toes. Lengthen the toes forwards, lean back into it. Take a breath in. Exhale, scrunch back up again. Keep it going, 2 more if you can. Lengthen. Exhale in. Lengthen. Exhale in, holding there. Bend the, which side do we do first? Bend the left knee, straighten the right leg out in front of you. This time, bend the right knee in as well. Take the hands around the sole of the foot, like a stirrup for the foot. Lengthen the heel forwards. And if you can, if the hamstring allows, straighten the leg up. Just to get to the point where it is enough for your hamstring. Keep the shoulders down and use the foot to pull into so that it lifts you tall, so you're not slumping into the back. From here, keep hold of the foot with your left hand. The right arm comes in under on the inside of the leg and under the knee. You've got the elbow into the crease of the knee. Use that to kind of, I would say, put on your handbag, like your leg is your handbag, hook it onto your shoulder as much as high as it will go, and then flex the foot so the foot feels active and clamp that onto your shoulder. So try and squeeze your arm with this leg. Take the right hand to the floor, fingers open and facing forwards. Keep your leg squeezing on so that you can let go of it and it doesn't fall. The left hand comes out to the side, so both hands flat to the ground facing forwards. Keep the leg hooked on and squeezing on your arm there. Left leg reaches out in front of you. Yes, good, I can see feet on the screen. Hook the left leg on top of the right one. Good, and then rock forwards and see if you can lift your bum off the mat. Squeeze the legs into the arms so they go out to the side, and chaturanga for those of you that are more open in it. If the leg slips off, don't worry, that happens, it takes practice. Reverse the way you came. Right down. So either practice that again, the left foot hooks onto the right. Those of you that know that pose and are comfortable with it, to challenge, try the pose without the foot hook. So you just sweep the legs out to the side. Ooh, it's much harder. And now. Ah. Good, let's go. And you reverse the way you came. Yeah. Gives you a little bit of sunburn on your arm as well. Straighten the leg out, switch sides. So the right leg is in, left leg is out. Hands come around as a stirrup around the left foot. Lift the heel off the floor. And just work on getting this stretch to start with. So lifting the heel up And then notice if you're slumping backwards into it, pull into the foot so it lifts you up. Proud through the chest. It feels a really awkward pose. To soften the stretch, keep the right hand with the sole of the foot. The left arm goes inside and under. So you use the back of the left arm to hook into the back of the knee. Left hand comes to the floor and then clamp the leg onto your arm. As high up as it'll go. Put on your handbag and clamp it into place. Flex the foot so it feels strong. Both hands to the floor facing forwards. Send the right leg out in front of you. If that's where you're at today, this is a good building point. It's still pretty strong for core and hips. If you can, hook the right foot on top of the left one. Keep both feet flexed so they act as a little hook. If they're floppy, you're going to flop off. Flop off. Take the weight forwards, lift your bum. And if you can, send the feet out to the side. Dip the chest down. So you're in chaturanga arms. Yes. Come back the way you came. Separate the legs. So again, you can either give that another go if you want to, or try it without the bind for some of you. Taking the feet straight out. Good, come down. Excellent. Take the legs out in front of you again. Reach forward, take a full breath in. As you exhale, slowly roll onto your back. Bring the hands overhead, take a full body stretch. Couple of deep breaths. Bring the hands to the sides of the body, bend the knees. Take a full breath in. We're going to come into a bridge pose. So as you exhale, roll the hips up to the ceiling. Really press into the feet, keep the tailbone trying to tuck. And if you want to, tuck the shoulders under, so you clasp the hands behind your back and use the arms to press into the floor, which is going to help your hips lift a little bit higher. For those of you that are more mobile and comfortable too, onto the tiptoes. Keep the neck straight, the throat relaxed. Slowly reverse the way you came, wherever you are. Unravel the way that you came in. Spine rolling to the floor so the tailbone is last. Either take another bridge pose. If you want to, taking your full wheel. Again, if this is a really new pose for you, this probably isn't the time to practice it, or maybe do a bit more focused session into it if you want to. So the fingers come to face the shoulders, palms flat to the ground, elbows must stay facing the ceiling. You come up through to bridge pose, and then push through the arms to lift the head off. Get your chest reaching through the arms. Again, those of you that are comfortable with the pose, you can try taking one leg off, and the other leg off, and one hand off, and the other hand off. Good. Izzy, try to push into your legs so the chest reaches through to the wall that you're looking at. Come onto the tiptoes if you can. Walk the feet in maybe a bit closer towards your hands. Yeah, great. Lovely. And then slowly reverse the way that you came wherever you are. Good. When you are grounded, take your time. That's it, Izzy, tuck your chin. That's it. Make sure you tuck your chin as you roll down. Good girl. Take a twist, so dropping both knees down to one side and the other. You can hook the legs into more of an eagle legs if you want to. Twisting after back bends really is important to just kind of reset your spine again, neutralize. Good, and then whenever you feel comfortable, bring yourself into a Shavasana of any kind of place that feels good to be. So allow the breath to slow down. As we started the practice, if you're taking your Shavasana seated, bring the index finger to thumb, stretch the other fingers open and stay straight through the arms, lifting tall through the spine. So let go of any control or holding of the bandhas or of that ujjayi breath. So allow the body to feel really soft. So allowing the effects of the practice to move through the body. So acknowledging how you feel. Notice how you feel physically, how you feel energetically or emotionally. It's okay if all you can think of is knackered, that's fine too. Obviously, if you have time this afternoon and you wish to stay here in your Shavasana or meditation for longer, then please stay, enjoy. Otherwise, take your time, use the course of the next few breaths to bring yourself to seated. Bring to mind just one thing that you can feel grateful for today. Acknowledge one thing that you like about yourself today. And recognize one thing that you have gained or released from getting to your yoga mat today. Closing then that gratitude, self-compassion and achievement into the heart center as the palms close at the heart space. Take a full breath in and exhale to bow your head to your hands and use your hands to give yourself a freaking applause. Good work, guys. Well done. Thank you so much for coming to play. See you soon. Well done, guys. Bye.